feel like before I say anything about before I like say anything about this video, I feel like every single crash out in here is reasonable. This ain't no YNs. I'm doing shit differently. Feel me? Kids attacking their parents, killers in court. These are all reasonable crash outs, in my opinion. Dang, what's that? The suitcase? That was a chair?
This is 62-year-old Dale Williams, who was facing murder charges in Youngstown, Ohio. In June 2017, Williams ran his ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth Pledger Stewart's car off the road and caused it to crash. Williams then shot and killed the 46-year-old mother of two. After his arrest, Williams pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and weapons charges. Facing the possibility of life in prison, Williams appeared at his sentencing, where the victim's two sons decided to deliver some justice of their own.
Yo, do you get arrested for that? Like if you see like, I feel like we should be able to let them fight for like 30 seconds, handcuffed. But do you go to jail for that? Like if you attack like if someone killed your mom and you in court, you looking the dude in his face like, and you attack him, do you get arrested for that? Cause that's kind of fucked up if you do. I ain't gonna lie. I wonder if that's the case.
30-year-old Anthony Dees jumped across the table, evaded deputies, and dragged Williams down by his feet. Then, 23-year-old Jerome Stewart ran over to help his brother, and the two delivered a barrage of punches and kicks to the defendant. As deputies struggled to contain the brothers, one officer pulled out a taser and shot Stewart.
Reasonable crash out. Like I said, reasonable crash out. 100% reasonable. Oh, they blur it.
Williams was then escorted from the courtroom as he wiped the blood off his face.
That's reasonable, bro. Fuck
Finally,
that.
the two aggrieved sons were taken into custody. They faced charges of assault, contempt of court, and obstruction of justice.
That's bullshit,
As for Williams, he was later sentenced to 23 years to life in prison for murdering his ex-girlfriend. While Dale Williams was viciously assaulted by the sons of the woman he killed. What happens when a defendant gets attacked by his own son? Like in the case of Vashon Flowers, who was on trial for murder in Muskegon County, Michigan. In May 2019, Flowers allegedly shot and killed his wife, Jamie.
Wait, wow. I'm noticing that there's a lot of women getting murdered, bro. And I feel like as a son, bro, I'm going to jail. Off rip. I don't care about no one. I'm going to jail. I already know, feel me, I'm going to jail. I don't give a fuck. You gotta have some type of like, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta have some type of like, I don't know the word, but you gotta like, come on. If I'm a judge and I see that happens, I'm not arresting them. I'll be like, nah, let them go. Like, feel me? Like, really imagine your mom getting killed and you looking to kill her right in his face, bro. He's in the same room as you, bro. Like, really imagine that, bro. That shit is hard, bro. So I feel for these people, bro.
Muskegon Heights
I
home
feel for that.
After the two had an argument over cigarettes.
She got killed over
the couple
cigarettes?
fought for more than a day, after which police arrived and separated the two. Flowers left, but hours later he returned, kicked in the door, and shot Jamie 4 times. The 46-year-old then turned himself in and was charged with open murder. Jamie's daughter, Paris, who witnessed the whole incident, testified in court.
Nah, that's
down
fucked
on the
up.
ground and started choking my mother. Actually, I heard, "You don't have to do this, Vashon. Please don't do this. You don't have to do this." And then I heard gunshots.
Do you recall how many you heard?
4. I got up and I left out of the room. She was sitting straight up against the wall.
Did you observe?
That's fucked up, bro.
Yes, on her shirt. Gunshots, bullet holes in her shirt, and blood.
But it was Jamie's son who decided to take matters into his own hands. hearing, 21-year-old London Jones was seated in the gallery with the rest of his siblings when suddenly he leaped over the barricade and headed straight towards his mother's killer. Alert deputies were able to tackle him just in the nick of time.
Nah, you gotta let him go, bro. You gotta let him go. Like, no cap. Like, I feel for him, bro. I feel for him, though. That's fucked up.
Eventually, the grieving son was restrained and removed from the courtroom. Ultimately, Flowers was convicted of Jamie's murder and sentenced to life in prison. While Vashon Flowers faced his son's fury, what happens when a victim's son attacks his mother's killer?
Damn, what they record this off of?
We
A
head to
fucking
Springfield,
DS?
Massachusetts, where a hearing is underway for accused serial killer Alfred Gaynor. According to reports, Gaynor terrorized the city of Springfield, where he assaulted and brutally
Alright, so he's... Wait, he did
murdered
what?
9 women from
He murdered 9 women. 9 women. If this man gets arrested for beating a fucking serial killer's ass, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Convicted in 2004 of killing Springfield woman Alfred J. Gaynor has admitted his role in 5 murders at Ryan. Below, Gaynor's victims' photos are unavailable for very Holmes 45 found April 20, 1995, 1996. Oh, these are all... This is old. This is before I was born. June 16, 97, 97, 97, 97, 98, 98. This is all... Yeah, I was born 98, so... Damn, this is all before me. That's fucked up.
1995 to 1998. Gaynor was finally arrested after his DNA matched with evidence from the crime scenes. Now at a hearing, sitting in the gallery
that
was
explains
one
why
of
his video
Gaynor's
looks like
victim's
this.
sons, Eric Downs. 3 deputies surrounded Gaynor, but it wouldn't be enough for what was to follow.
Mr. Gaynor's being held in extreme conditions of confinement.
I'd have killed him.
He's being held without right to bail.
Without
I ain't gonna lie,
warning,
he looked like he
Downs
fucked him
jumped
up.
over the barricade and launched into the defendant. Gaynor's sister tried to hold back Downs, but not before the grieving son delivered one final blow. A
The hell was
deputy
that, a
led
chair?
Gaynor to safety, while other officers attempted to restore order. Downs was later
Was he the
charged
first one to
with
do that?
assault and contempt of court. As for Gaynor, he eventually pleaded guilty to all the murders and was sentenced to 8 consecutive life terms.
That nigga got fat as
If
fuck.
one brother can cause so much damage in court, then how does it compare to 2 brothers attacking a defendant? Like in the case of 24-year-old Jason Howard, who was facing multiple murder charges in Warren, Ohio. In 2006, Howard was arrested after he allegedly shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, 27-year-old
Yo, what's
Jamila
up with
West,
these niggas killing women, though? I noticed that every nigga here has killed women, bro.
at her home in Columbus before stalking and suffocating her 3 children to death.
That's fucked up.
Now, at a pretrial
That's
hearing,
fucked up.
things are about to go out of control. Without warning, the victim's brother, 30-year-old Lewis West, attacked Howard and delivered blow after blow on the shackled defendant. Sergeant Phil Eckenrode was the only one standing between his prisoner and the distraught brother.
It was my job to try to protect my prisoner to the
Protect?
best of my ability.
With Sergeant Eckenrode's hands already full, another sibling, 29-year-old Sultan Honzu, dived through the doorway and started hammering Howard. The situation was threatening to go out of hand, but thankfully, Sergeant Eckenrode gained control of the courtroom and the brothers were arrested. They were later charged with assault.
Nah, that's crazy.
Howard was not seriously injured, barring a few scratches. His murder charges were later dropped based on a lack of evidence. While 2 brothers delivered their own version of court
Wait, his charges got dropped? Nah, that's
room
sick.
justice, What happens when a distraught
probably
teenager
killed him.
lunges at the defendant? Like in the case of James Douglas Gonzalez, who was on trial for murder in Mobile, Alabama. Back in 1992, Gonzalez arrived at a party where he reportedly shot and killed 18-year-old Matthew Hall after the two got into an altercation. Gonzalez later claimed he shot Matthew in self-defense. During trial, the victim's father, Matthew Hall Sr., and younger brother, Kevin, waited anxiously in the gallery for the jury to return with their verdict. Eventually, the jury returned and found Gonzalez guilty of a lesser misdemeanor charge of criminally negligent homicide. Feeling robbed of justice, Kevin Hall decided
That's
to
crazy.
take matters into his own hands.
Damn. I know that feeling, bro. Like you just see that person, you just snap, bro. I don't blame none of these people in here, bro. Like you see that one person, you just black, bro. That's crazy.
Without warning, Kevin jumped from his seat, leaped over a barricade, and charged at the defendant, landing a punch to his face. His father, Hall Sr., soon joins the melee. It took several officers and onlookers
Get a bit
to
of
subdue
headlock?
the two.
Nah.
Spectators were left shaken. Gonzalez's mother and grandmother broke down. After the attack, the Halls were charged with contempt of court and sentenced to 5 days in jail. As for Gonzalez, he got just 1 year in prison for the murder of Matthew Hall. While Kevin Hall decided to deliver some brotherly justice, what happens when a defendant gets shot in the courtroom?
Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on. Wait. So what? I gotta see this.
We head
Oh, he
south
ain't
of
gonna
the
play.
border to São José de Belmonte, Brazil, for the murder trial of 38-year-old Francisco Cledivaldo Mariano de Moura.
God damn.
According to reports, in 2012, de Moura shot Francisco Alves at his home
Wait.
in
The son tried to kill his father, accused murder after De Moura allegedly shot his dad, Francisco Alves, in October 12 at his home in Lagoa, Alexandra. De Moura allegedly confessed to killing Terto's father after he was out searching for one of his donkeys that strayed off his property.
Lagoa Alexandre after the two got into an argument over a donkey. Now, a jury session was underway with the victim's 20
I'm gonna just be the first one to say it. Hold on. I'm gonna be the first one to say it. If you gotta kill someone over a donkey, I never even heard of that before. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Over a donkey,
7-year-old
it's crazy.
son Cristiano Alves Terto sitting at the back, while the defendant sat in front of the courtroom. As Terto stood up, he was about to put his sinister plan into motion.
Oh, he went for the head. He missed? Did he throw the gun at him? Oh no, he went for murder. Oh, he killed him? Oh yeah, he died. He's dead.
Initially,
He
a
shot
woman
the shit
tried
out
to
of him.
stop Terto, but the distraught son pulled out a .38 caliber revolver and fired 2 shots directly toward de Moura, just a few feet away from a juror and an attorney.
Oh.
The rest of the courtroom descended into chaos as the vengeful Terto unleashed another volley of shots at the defendant from point-blank range. De Moura ran for his life, desperately trying to seek cover from the hail of bullets. After emptying his 6-shooter, Terto furiously bashed de Moura with the butt of his gun. The gun-wielding son
God.
then fled the courtroom. He was arrested the following day and charged with attempted
Oh, he didn't
murder.
kill him.
Miraculously, de Moura managed to stand up behind the judge's desk before slumping to the ground. He was rushed to a local hospital and made a full recovery.
Oh, that's-
While a grieving son
yeah.
almost managed to kill his father's murderer, what happens when a defendant gets chased by the victim's family? Like in the case of Paul Wade,
Why these videos
who's
are
at
so
the
old?
Jefferson County Justice Center in Louisville, Kentucky for an arraignment. 3 weeks earlier, police found the bodies of 26-year-old Edward Smith and 24-year-old Alexis McCrary shot dead in the Russell neighborhood. After going through surveillance footage from the area, they arrested 31-year-old Paul Wade. Wade, who was already out on probation, was charged with 2 counts of murder and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Now in court, Wade's hearing was presided over by Judge Ann Haney. She had an 8th grader shadowing her who wanted to be a judge one day. Sitting in the gallery were the 2 victims'
What a first day on the job.
family members, who immediately got off on the wrong foot with the court deputy.
Mr. Eggert is retained on vacation.
Okay, hold on. Ma'am, you're gonna have to leave the courtroom. You have to.
We all family.
Okay, y'all got to not talk. Okay. No talking in the courtroom.
God damn, what the fuck was this recorded on?
Go ahead.
After a short disruption, the hearing went underway.
So hold on, I've got someone who doesn't have a lawyer.
Yes.
Since Wade's attorney was not present, Judge Haney rescheduled for a later date.
Do you want an opportunity to hire Mr. Eggert?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
You think it's realistic that will happen?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I will give you to November 1st.
As Wade was being removed from the courtroom, he uttered an expletive towards those sitting in the gallery.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing.
Suddenly, chaos erupted. This triggered a
They on
chain of
his
events.
heels, I ain't
Several
gonna lie.
family members hopped over the railing and went after the defendant. 4 of them chased Wade through an open door right behind the judge's bench.
Wait, you don't got
Judge
handcuffs?
Haney and the terrified 8th grader watched helplessly. The judge then hit the panic button and yelled for help. More deputies arrived and used pepper spray to defuse the situation.
Oh my
Even
God,
Judge
that
Haney
shit
had to
burns.
step down from the bench to help.
The best thing you can do is just stay calm.
In the end, 4 people were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental operations. 2 of them faced additional charges of assault and resisting arrest. While Paul Wade's court hearing
That's
totally
crazy.
went out of control, how does it compare to getting punched by the victim's brother? Like in the case of 33-year-old Jeffrey Clark, who's facing first-degree premeditated murder charges in Fraser, Michigan. On July 4th, 2022,
Yes, it did, after my
Clark
birthday.
shot and killed 28-year-old Jeray Robertson in execution style after chasing him down an apartment complex parking lot.
This was an execution. Just wasn't a murder, an execution. The man was pleading for his life.
A doorbell camera captured the moment Robertson was shot.
As the victim runs for his life, he's now in the city of Fraser.
Clark was arrested after an ankle monitor he was wearing placed him at the crime scene.
Wow.
Your Honor, at the time, the defendant had a tether on his ankle. We do have the tether records that place him at that location at that time.
At his trial, Clark's girlfriend testified that the defendant threatened her after the shooting.
He proceeded to tell me that he would kill me if I told on him. He told me exactly what he did to Mr. Robertson. He told me that Mr. Robertson begged for his life, and that the only thing he was worried about was that he was on tether.
But when the prosecution played a video showing the judge and family members how Robertson was executed, the courtroom exploded.
That's crazy. about to say, yo, do these niggas have handcuffs? Bro, cause I'm like, bro, this nigga's swinging at him.
Man, they gonna see you.
Sitting in the gallery
I ain't
watching
gonna lie,
his brother
I
beg
hope.
for his life was Robertson's twin, Jerry, who got into a brawl with the defendant. Jerry also clashed with Clark's father, who was upset his killer son got punched.
You hit him. Man, he killed us. Put him in there with myself. Go ahead. Put him in there. Best sound, old man. Knock it off. Best sound. Best sound. Go.
After order was
I
restored,
ain't gonna lie,
Clark
yeah,
was
put me in
convicted of first-degree murder,
I ain't gonna lie,
felony
first thing I'm
firearm,
doing-
and felon in possession of a firearm.
I'm getting
He
the
was
charge
sentenced
in
to
there.
life in prison with no hope
Word of my
for
mother.
parole.
Word
While
to my
Jeffrey
mother.
Clark was attacked by his victim's twin brother, what happens when a victim's brother charges at the defendant? Like in the case of Tristan Lamoureux, who is facing murder charges in Cedar City, Utah. In 2009, Lamoureux reportedly shot his wife, 19-year-old Misty, several times in the head, instantly killing her. When police arrived, they found Misty's body in the bathroom and arrested Lamoureux after he tried to flee the scene. Instead of going to trial, the 24-year-old pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. Now at his sentencing, Misty's brother Jason Wilson was called to the podium to deliver his victim impact statement. The situation became more and more tense as Wilson spoke about the impact his sister's murder had on his family. An emotional Wilson then turned his attention towards the defendant, even making a step towards him.
You gotta
The
let
court
him
bailiffs
fight, bro.
cautiously stepped in after sensing Wilson becoming increasingly overcome with
gotta-
emotion.
you gotta
But
let
the
him-
grieving brother had other ideas. As the bailiffs approached him, Wilson
I
ran
like how
behind
it's like a VHS rewind. I like that.
the
That's
attorney's
kinda fire.
table and tried to take a swing at Lamoureux. But before he could reach the defendant, the bailiff sprang into action and tackled both Wilson and Lamoureux to the ground. Wilson was restrained and removed from the courtroom. He faced no additional charges. After the dust settled, the courtroom
Wait,
was...
so why did? How do why? Okay, let me get this straight. Hold on. Every black person that I've seen in this video so far, when they jumped over, they got charges: assault, resisting arrest, courtroom obstruction, whatever that's just called, obstruction of justice, whatever. This nigga got nothing. Maybe because he didn't hit him. Nah, yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe because he didn't physically put his hands with him. Maybe because they stopped it literally right before. Yeah, maybe that's
put
why.
back in order, and the sentencing continued.
Makes sense.
Eventually,
I got it,
Lamoureux
Jack.
was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for his wife. While Tristan Lamoureux felt a grieving brother's fury, what happens when a victim's daughter can't control her emotions in court? Like in the case of 25-year-old Tevin Merriweather, who was facing murder charges in DeKalb County, Georgia. Police said that in June 2019, Merriweather got into an argument with 34-year-old Myron Pierce at a gas station off Glenwood Avenue. The fight escalated into a physical altercation, with Merriweather ending up shooting Pierce several times, instantly killing the beloved father. Now at a bond hearing, Pierce's 15-year-old daughter, Tashia Campbell, was sitting in the gallery as the defense attorney argued on behalf of his client. This is when the distraught daughter lost it.
Age daughter couldn't take it. You see there, deputies had to remove her from the courtroom. Channel 2 station for...
Overwhelmed with grief, Campbell lashed out at Merriweather before charging towards the defendant. Thankfully, deputies grabbed Campbell in the nick of time and removed her from the courtroom. After order was
That's fucked up.
restored,
What the?
the judge denied bond and sent Merriweather back to prison.
This scared the shit out of me. What the fuck is this? Killers collapsing in court? Nah, I gotta watch that next. No cap. What the fuck is... I thought that was the video. Nah, that's fucking crazy.